Hi, everybody. Welcome. I hope that you all are hanging in and feeling all right where you are and safe in your homes if you're home, and doing incredible things if you are out. Thank you to those of you who are out and really saving the rest of us. I'm in, just incredibly grateful for the people who are the helpers in the world, for the people who show up for those in need. And I dedicate my practice tonight to those who are out and who aren't able to be with their families, but instead they're on the front lines fighting this, whether they're doctors or they're nurses, or they're delivering groceries or they're stacking the shelves, to those people who really are the ones who run our world. Thank you, and I hope that you can perhaps have a moment of this practice as well. Now, those of us who've been in quarantine, we have our own set of struggles and things that we're dealing with. I found that my family and myself, we're pent up, like kind of tigers in cages. We're kind of pacing the walls, and all of the anxiety that is building up in our minds is collecting in our bodies. And when we're typically, going outside and to getting some movement, that's the access we have to kind of movement, especially living in New York City. If that's where you are, you get a lot of your movement just through like transportation. You're not able to do that now. So if this is a practice, I want you to help to feel like you're moving and having this kind of dynamic relationship with your breath and your body, and just letting yourself get out of your head and all of the stuff and all of the chatter, the chitta vrittis, those turnings of the mind. While they're spinning, get in sync with the movement and the breath. Get those things synced together, and it will kind of override your more negative internal monologue. It's kind of like a brain hack. So we'll begin in a comfortable seat, however that makes sense for you. Take a moment to soften or close your eyes. First and foremost, we meet ourselves where we are. So how are you doing today? In your body, in your breath, in your mind. And instead of forgetting that all of that exists and repressing it down, let's work with it. Unclench your jaw a bit, your tongue and your eyes. Relax your shoulders and feel the weight of your seat sink down into the ground. And begin to notice your breath at the tip of your nose. Notice its temperature, its taste, maybe which nostril is more dominant. And start to get interested in this breath that fuels your life. Now, your next exhale, breathe all the way out and empty out more and more and more and more till you're completely empty. Good. Now take a deep breath in, fill your belly first, then the ribs, and breathe all the way up into your chest and around the ribs like a balloon being filled up completely. And as you exhale, empty all the way out, like a corset being zipped up. Wrap the belly around the spine. Let's do that again. Inhale, fill your belly, ribs, upper back, chest, all the way around like a globe or a balloon expanding. And as you exhale, ever so slowly, use the strength of your belly and press the air out. One more time, take a massive breath in. Keep your mouth closed and exhale through your nose. You might start to get this whispered, textured breath that we call Ujjayi pranayama. It's not so much in the nose, and it's more in the throat. It takes a little practice. You'll get there. Join your palms in prayer at the center of your chest and bow your lips to meet your fingertips. Set your intention or dedication for your practice. And take a deep breath in. And a collective breath out. Let her open your eyes, open your palms, and start to spin your prayer from the back of your hands to the front of your wrists. Nice, easy breaths in through your nose, out through your nose. And let those breaths be consistent. Steady in, steady out. Circle your hands the other direction. Right, to get into the sensory experience of it. Don't worry about how you look. No one's with you anyway. Then interlace your fingers, flip your palms up and over your head. Inhale. Exhale, round the spine, hug the belly in. Again, like that, palms up, inhale. And round back, exhale. Once more, palms up. This time, fly your arms out wide to the sides. Good. Take your hands to your knees or thighs. Now we'll circle the spine. Get that belly churning. Circle around the other direction. And then come on up to sit. Lift your arms up and over your head as you inhale. As you exhale, side bend over to the right. Bounce back up to center as you inhale. Side bend over to the left as you exhale. One more time up to center, breathe in. Exhale, tip over to the right. And as you do, feel like you could pull your right ribs in so your left ribs can lift and arc up and over your heart like a pinwheel. Take a sweet breath in right there underneath your left armpit. As you exhale, take your left hand to your right knee. Now sit up tall so your head is stacked over the ribs, ribs over your pelvis. Tent your right fingertips behind your lower back. I like to keep a little bend in that elbow so I have some room to work the shoulder. Roll that back shoulder away from you and take an inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, hug your belly in and imagine you're spiraling around yourself like the stripes on a candy cane. One of my new teacher trainees came up with that and I thought it was just so lovely. Now send your right arm up and over your head with your next inhale. You can really reach out and reach out and reach out and reach out. And cross your right hand to the left knee. Center yourself behind your chest. Relax your head. Let's get some space into the upper back. Take an inhale. Feel those shoulder blades spread wide behind you. Exhale all the way out. Do that one more time. Inhale. Inhale more and inhale more. See how wide you can get those shoulder blades to spread. And then exhale, empty out. Good. Keep your elbows crossed. Lift up your hands. We're going to work towards eagle arms. Some of you might keep the backs of your hands together. If you can get the full spin, you get the fronts of your palms to touch. Try to see if your thumbs can relatively face the direction of your nose. More importantly, press the shoulders down, push your forearms away, and try to open your arms out to the sides. And for those of you that eagle is a lot, you can always just wrap your hands around your shoulder blades and give yourself a hug. Same idea. Now take another deep breath in. Hold the top of that inhale. And as you do, hold it on full. Try to press your shoulders down and pull your arms apart. Exhale all the way out. Good. Unravel your arms up to the sky. Take an inhale. Side bend over to the left as you exhale. Back to center as you inhale. Wipe the slate clean a little bit. Exhale over to the other side. One more time back to center. Inhale. Exhale, side bend over to the left. Pull the left ribs in so the right ribs can arc over. Keep grounding through your right sits bone. Breathe in. Exhale your right hand to your left knee or thigh. Sit up tall. Get your spine stacked first. Then tent your left fingertips behind you. We tend to just want to turn the head and look around at what's behind us, but instead we can stack on top of ourselves and swirl or twist or revolve with the integrity of our central axis. So take an inhale and an exhale. Feel like you could twist your right belly across to your left shoulder and then roll your left shoulder blade deep onto your back. Where your head goes is up to you as long as it doesn't feel cranky. Take a breath here. Good. Now send that left arm up and over your head. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Cross your hand over to your knees. Center yourself behind your elbows. Take an inhale and an exhale. One more. Inhale And exhale. Keep your elbows crossed, lift your hands up. Remember our options. You can catch your shoulder blades, backs of the hands touch, or the full shebang. Press your shoulders down. Try to pull your arms apart and push your forearms away from you as much as you can. Take a deep breath in. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 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 exhale. Unravel your arms. Send them all the way up to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, palms to prayer. We're going to come on up to all fours. Turn to give you my side view. Stack your wrists under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. You're going to play with some easy cat-cows to continue warming up the spine. So inhale, melt the belly, gaze the heart forward. As you exhale, round the spine, push the floor away. And once again, feel that engagement of the shoulder blades spreading behind you. A couple more like this. Inhale to lift. And exhale as you round. Try to articulate the joints between each and every vertebrae. Feel free to add on some circles if you'd like. Get grippy with your fingertips, broad across your chest. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lift your knees, press your seat up towards the sky. Down dog. Now, first down dog, I always like to keep my knees bent. Grip the floor with the fingertips. That's what you're pushing with. So really push the floor away, like you can hoist your inner thighs up towards the sky behind you. Now I have my spine and pelvis set. Now I can work on the legs. Pedal out your feet. Get all the way up to the tippy toes. And then you might bend your knees quite deeply. You might swivel from side to side. Any little things that feel sweet. Okay. As you're ready to settle, take a breath. Plank pose as you inhale. Exhale, lower knees, chest, and chin to the floor. You can always do any vinyasa you'd prefer. Slide onto your belly. Roll your shoulder blades back, baby cobra, as you inhale. Exhale all the way down to the floor. Now, tent your fingertips off to the sides a few inches so your elbows can poke up. Ground those feet. Firm the thighs. Wrap your shoulder blades back and lift your heart. Now you have those shoulder blades gliding together behind you. Can you puff your heart forward a little more? Exhale, lengthen all the way back down. 2 more like that. Inhale, roll up. And exhale, release. 1 more time. Inhale. By the way, higher is not always better. You might stay low so you can really feel the shoulder blade connection. And exhale, release. Put your hands underneath your shoulders and press back to a child's pose. Child's pose is a very safe shape for you to be in whenever you might need it. In between vinyasas, instead of doing side, really anytime you need to take a pause, please, physically press the pause button. But you can always just chill in child's pose if you don't want to lose the vibe and you don't want to actually stop it, but you need to stop for a moment. It's always there. Shall we move on? Back to all fours as you inhale. Claw with your finger pads and lift your chest. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Lift your right foot to the sky, down dog split. Nothing too high, just think of getting long. Exhale, knee to the nose. Step your foot forward between your hands. Lower your back knee down. Take your hands to your thigh, and then send your left arm up and over your head. Inhale. As you exhale, gently side bend over. Like you could zip your knees together, give yourself support. Breathe in. As you exhale, circle your left palm to the floor underneath your shoulder. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and spin your chest open to the sidewall. Then your arm is already there in place to lift. Take an inhale. Exhale, release your palm to the floor, step forward to the front of your mat. Half lift, inhale. I'm going to scooch back a little bit. Exhale, fold forward. 2 more, half lift, inhale. And exhale, fold. Once more, half lift. And exhale, fold. And soften your knees, roll up to stand 1 vertebra at a time. Lift your arms up high as you inhale. Hands to heart as you exhale. Inhale, send the arms up high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step the right foot back, plant the palms. Plank pose, left foot meets the right, breathe in. You can chaturanga here, you can lower all the way down. I'm just gonna do a nice, easy knees, chest, chin pose instead. Slide through to your cobra as you inhale. Back to your downward facing dog as you exhale. Lift your left foot as you inhale. Exhale, step that left foot forward between your hands. Lower your back knee down. Climb your left hand to the left knee. Send the right arm to the sky and breathe in. Side bend over as you exhale. Breathe in here. And then exhale, circle your palm to the floor underneath your shoulder. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee, drive back through that heel. Now as you push your left hand down into your left thigh, let that action create the twist. Lift your left arm up and take an inhale. Exhale, release your hand to the floor, step forward to the front of your mat. Half lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Soften your knees, roll up to stand, vertebra by vertebra. High prayer as you inhale. Prayer to heart center as you exhale. Inhale the arms up high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left foot steps back. Right foot meets it, take an inhale. Exhale, your vinyasa. I'm gonna walk the hands back to the feet. I'm gonna scooch the feet apart a little bit. Little bend into the knees, elbows on top of thighs so you're in a squat. Try to keep your heels grounded and your thighs strong. If you can maintain that, you're welcome to squat a little deeper down. Press your palms in prayer. And as you press your palms together, press your elbows against your thighs and your thighs back against your elbows. You might rock your weight a little bit here. Shift from side to side a little bit. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, let it go. Lengthen your legs, parallel your thighs, and then scooch the feet apart about 2 fist distance or so. Soften the knees enough that you can rest your belly on your thighs and interlace your hands behind your lower back. Bend your knees deeper, punch your knuckles back, lift your chest like a chair pose with that open heart. Exhale, fold forward, spill back down, and then push the floor away to lengthen the legs, a little or a lot. 2 more, bend the knees, lift your heart, inhale. And exhale, bow. 1 more time. Slide your hands slowly down your thighs, knees, calves, and ankles. Flat back, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Walk your hands forward to a plank pose. You can take or leave the vinyasa. In case you haven't noticed yet, I'm not doing a chaturanga. Lift your right foot to the sky as you inhale. This time, bend that knee and open up your hip as you exhale. Lengthen the legs, step it forward to your lunge. This time, we're going to swivel the back heel down, cartwheel the arms all the way around in a warrior 2. Sorry for my back. You'll see my front later. Straighten your legs, lift both arms to the sky. And then exhale back to your warrior 2. Again, inhale, rise up. Kind of hug your feet towards each other, create strength and stability. Exhale, bend your knee, reach away. Now flip your palm up, your front palm, and sit back to a peaceful warrior. Big old side bend. Exhale your forearm to your thigh. Plug this thigh back into its socket, and then reach your top arm overhead. You might heel toe your back foot in a little bit. Wrap your top arm behind your back in a half bind. Your right arm can reach alongside your ear towards the front of your space. Now, very slowly begin to straighten your front leg. Ever so gently release your fingers down to your shin and enjoy another moment in your triangle pose. Barely any weight in these fingertips. Unravel that back arm up and over your head. Take an inhale. As you exhale, turn your toes in and fold forward. This is where I'm going to turn so that you see my back and not my butt. You're going to fold forward, come all the way down. You may bend your knees and rock from side to side a little bit. Even some skandhasanas if they're in your practice. Okay. Once your feet are parallel, take your right fingertips onto the floor underneath your heart. You might need a block if you have one available. Take your left hand to your low back and slowly begin to twist your chest. Maybe you lift that arm up to the sky. If it feels kind of cranky, don't do it. Spin the chest open more. Good. Now take that lifted arm. You're going to tuck it behind your right elbow and grab the outside of your right ankle. Keep holding on. Lift your right arm up. Maybe you wrap that right arm behind your back. Maybe you really twist that heart around. We're not done. Ready? Take that back arm, send it up, and now cross it in between your arm and your leg, so right through, so you can catch the outside of your left ankle. Heel toe your feet as close together as you have to. Really get rooted. This is enough. I love this. If you want to add on a little more, you're going to slowly start to peel your left elbow up and turn your right toes out. You slowly begin this deep, 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 deep twisted triangle pose. Super bindy. When you're ready, come back to center. And you can interlace your hands behind your back. Make your way back up to your fingertips. We're going to spin back towards the front of the mat. Remember, I had turned, so we're back in a lunge with the right foot facing forward. Walk that right foot to the right side of the mat and drop your back knee down to the floor. You can move your left hand out to the left a little bit. Take your right hand to the right knee and twist. You might even push that thigh away from you and lean back. You can lift your right arm to the sky, or you may bend your back knee and catch that foot behind you. As you're ready, release your foot. Take your palms to the floor. Slide the right knee back so that you're in a slightly long plank on your knees, and take your elbows to the floor. Interlace your fingers, tuck your toes, lift your knees up. You can walk your feet in a little bit, bend your knees, and as you push down into the ground, lift your feet up. You might walk yourself in a little closer. Try not to put your head on the floor. Push down to lift it up. And I recommend getting up to your tippy toes and seeing how you can push down into your forearms and create all of this strength in your core. Once you're done, you sit down, child's pose, or you find a comfortable seat. Couple of breaths. Yoga presents these moments of stress and then opportunities to recover. And so much of that is how we become resilient in our bodies, in our minds, in our nervous systems. It's really where the magic is. So take a breath. Come on back to your hands and knees. Tuck your toes, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. Lift your left foot as you inhale. Bend that knee and open your hip as you exhale. Lengthen that leg, square the hips, and step your left foot forward. Warrior two, cartwheel those arms open. Main thing is in warrior two is that your pelvis is set like a tadasana. So make sure your hips aren't skewed off to one side or the other, but relatively they're on the same plane, okay? Ground your feet, hug the thighs in, and fly the arms out wide. Now inhale, straighten both legs, lift the arms up. Try not to snap straight. Keep the strength. Exhale, warrior two. One more. Inhale, rise. And exhale, lunge. Flip the palm up, tip back, peaceful warrior. Exhale towards a side angle. Now remember, the pelvis now is going to tilt with the spine. You might even have to adjust your feet a little bit so that you're not in a side bend, but instead deeper hip flexion. Okay? Send your right arm overhead and then around your back, half back. You can reach your left fingers forward and then slowly begin to lengthen that leg. Again, no slamming it straight. Keep it strong. As you're ready, lower your fingers to your shin. You can keep the half bind. Unravel that right arm up, send it overhead. And now we're going to turn. Left toes turn in, fold forward to center. Give yourself a moment. Just like last side, you might rock side to side a little bit, some Skandhasanas if you'd like. Then we're going to play with that twisty triangle. So your left fingertips are underneath your heart. The right hand finds the back of your pelvis. Get long. And see if you can twist around that central axis. Lift your right arm high. Inhale. Good, no big deal. Right hand crosses over to the outside of your left ankle. Keep holding on, keep holding on. Twist your chest, and then you can reach your left hand up high. Maybe behind your back. If you're playing with that tricky variation, it's your right elbow that starts to lift, your left toes that turn out. I'm kind of coming back into that triangle shape. As my elbow lifts, I get super twisty. My feet are working. It happens. Can always come back. And then you slowly unravel, shake it out a little bit. And then we'll end up with the left foot forward, the front of your mat. Lizard lunge. Walk your foot to the outside of your mat. Drop your back knee down. Take your left hand to your left knee. Spin the chest open. Maybe you push that thigh away from you for a bigger hip opener. You might bend your back knee and catch your foot. And play with this. Lifting your hips feel a little bit better. Melting the hips. Where do you want the attention of the pose? Nice and slow release. Child's pose. Or sit up if it's feeling a little hot and crowded. Climb your way back up to all fours. Lower your elbows to the floor. Interlace your fingers. Press your palms together. Tuck your toes and lift your knees. It's going to feel a little weird. It's kind of like too short of a plank, but too long of a dog, kind of that in-between space. Roll yourself forward and try to tap your chin in front of your knuckles. And then push back. No big deal. Inhale to come forward. And exhale, push back. We'll do like 100 of these. I'll do one more. And then you drop your knees down and take another pause. Tent your fingers behind your toes. Roll your shoulder blades back and lift your chest. This can be more than enough. For more, lift your hips up off your heels. Take an inhale. And an exhale. Drop your seat, walk your hands out, downward facing dog. Lift your right foot to the sky as you breathe in. Bend your knee and open your hip as you breathe out. Now, some of you will stay here. If you want the trick, shift your shoulders over your wrists. Carefully flip the ball of your right foot to the floor behind you. Then you can send that arm up and over your head. It's a rock star. Flip back over, pull the knee into the belly, and now kick your foot out to the opposite side of your mat. So now your thighs are crossed. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly melt the outer right thigh down to the ground. I'm going to give you a different view so you can see me a little bit better. So that front thigh is straight underneath you. Your back leg is actually going to lift up and step in front of your opposite knee. Okay? You with me? Now we're going to use the ground like a foam roller. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. If you want to get really crazy, you take your right elbow underneath your shoulder, your left hand feeds underneath the outer edge of that right foot. And as you step down, you can lift your hips up and kick that foot out into the wall. Party tricks. Coming up to sit. We'll shake out those legs. Bend your knees, plant your feet, lift your heart, lift your hips. Take an inhale and an exhale. Drop your seat back down. Downward facing dog, last little bit. Pedal out those feet if you'd like. Vinyasa if you need one. Lift your left foot with your inhale. Bend your knee and open that hip as you exhale. If you're flipping, shift forward first. Then step the ball of the foot to the floor behind you. We're going to flip it back over, then kick the left leg out to the right side of the room. Keep sliding the foot until the thigh makes it down to the floor. Drop down to your elbows. Pick up the back foot and step it in front of you. And now you can rock and roll from side to side. You can absolutely stay here. You could take the party trick. Left elbow under your shoulder. Right hand reaches out to catch the pinky toe side of your foot. You got to stomp down on your right foot and your left hand. And as you push down off the floor, your hips might lift. I'm staying here at this time. As you're ready, come on up to sit. With your right shin in front of you, swing your left leg behind you. Pigeon pose. Lift that heart. Lift it a little higher. If you want to, you can bend your back knee, catch your back foot, do any sort of fancy bind you want. But this is enough. And when you're ready, fold forward. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders, press up to sit. Swing your left leg forward and your right leg back. Pigeon pose. If you try to stay up on the other side, you can stay up here and catch that back foot. If you're ready for the forward fold, you come on down. There's always modifications for pigeon if pigeon's not working for you. So instead, you can take a Sukhasana, fold forward just with your ankles crossed, stacking your shins, or you can do it reclined. Last few breaths here. you're still in pigeon, walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Come on up to sit. You'll swing both legs around and then come on down to your back. Plant your feet. One little back bend. If you have a block, you might want to slide a block or books or something underneath your pelvis so you have a little supported bridge. If you'd like an active bridge or an active full wheel, you're welcome to take one. We'll do a little bridge for you. Interlace your hands behind you. Ground your feet. Try to punch through with your knuckles as you lift your chest up towards the chin. Whenever you're ready, make your way down. Open your arms. Windshield wiper your knees. And shift your hips over to the right. Drop your knees to the left. You can always eagle wrap your knees if you'd prefer. Walk your feet back to center. Shift your hips the other way. Drop the knees in opposition. Try to eagle wrap the top leg over. Unravel and walk your feet to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Circle your knees around a little bit. Drag your knees wide, reach up for your happy baby pose. If you can't catch the feet, catch the ankles or the shins. As you pull down with your hands, kick up through your feet. Get the pose active. Good, then bring the soles of the feet together. Interlace your fingers around the outer edges of your feet and kick your knees apart. And zip your knees together, reach your feet up to the ceiling. Here's one of my favorite closing poses. It came to me through an incredible teacher named David Magone. It's basically a Supta Paschimottanasana. So you take one hand, catch the opposite wrist behind your knees. Slide your hands up towards your ankles and the bum will start to lift up. And as you fold your thighs towards your belly, it's more about getting everything parallel with the ceiling and the floor, less than getting my hips up. So lengthen your tail away from your toes. Take an inhale. A deep exhale, reach tail to toes. And then maybe I just lift my head up off the floor a little bit. So sweet. Release as you're ready. Plant your feet. Extend one leg, the other. Flip the backs of your hands to the floor and tug your shoulder blades underneath you. Adjust yourself as you'd like so you can pause for a few minutes. Let the work you've done sink into your body, become a part of you. Now you're more than welcome to stay here for as long as you'd like and enjoy the remainder of your rest. Maybe you add on another video, meditation, or a softer practice. Thank you so much. Shanti Namaste.